The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
It's coming.
All these voices. All these voices.
They're mine. They're not yours. You had no right to them when you were alive, and you have no right to them when you're dead. That's what it sounded like. Good, you know who I am. And you know I'm not playing. You're going to let those women go. In Jesus' name, you're going to let those women go.
There's a demon here watching us right now? I'm just watching us right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Staring into the Abyss. I am your host, horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me, as always, my co-host, old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How's everybody tonight?
I'm excited tonight. Tonight's going to be fun. Tonight's going to be a show like we've never done before, something completely different. It's October, which means it's Halloween time. And usually we wait to do a Halloween type of show until like late October, last couple weeks. But next week we have Deborah Lamb is supposed to be on, as long as everything works out. She's scheduled. She's like a famous actress, been in like Point Break, RoboCop, a bunch of movies. So I figured, what the hell, let's do it this week. Let's have some fun. Let's do a Halloween type show this week. And this one is right up old boy's alley. This is an old boy show through and through. He has no idea what we're going to be talking about because I've kept it a secret. But I'm excited. Now, I'm an old guy, remember. Okay, I got to put these on. I apologize for the glare on the screen because of the lights and all that shit. Made a list. That's why I got to put these on, because I made a list. I got to be able to read the damn thing. Me and my wife got together today, and I told her what I wanted to do for the show. And she helped me write down this list and come up with these, the top 25 horror icons. Now, you might not agree with this list. That's fine. It's my list, right? What I came up with and my wife helped me with. I'm sure that old boy will probably have others that aren't included. And if we have time, maybe we'll hit a few of those as well. But here's what we're doing. Can we survive, or would we survive, the top 25 horror icons? So if we're in a situation where these people are after us, are we going to live, or are we going to die? Now, a few ground rules. We're going to have 3 categories here. For each one of these, when I say it, we'll each do a minute or two on it. Very short time, because we got 25 guys to get through. And we'll say which one of these 3 categories that we would fall into for this character and why. First character is, they're my bitch. Okay? That is, if this thing is not a problem at all, we are going to whoop their ass. Make them our bitch. Okay? No sweat. Second category is, it's a toss-up. I might get fucked up a little bit. I'm at least getting wounded, probably. It's a toss-up. Okay? That's the middle category. And then the top category, the worst one, for the absolute badasses is, we're dead as fuck. Period. Our ass is grass. We're getting fucked up, okay? Those are the 3 categories. Make them our bitch. We're probably going to get hurt, but we'll survive. It's a toss-up, and we're dead as fuck, okay? So, here we go. The first one on the list, Annabelle. All right, so for Annabelle, I would put Annabelle probably in the make her my bitch category. First of all, she's a little doll. No big deal. Yes, there's a demon inside the doll. I don't give a shit. I fight demons every week. You know what I mean? That's what we do. You know, so I'm not afraid of a demon. I can exercise that little bitch. Send her back to hell where she belongs. Not afraid of her at all. Would absolutely make her my bitch. Okay, oh boy. What do you think about Annabelle? Where would she fall?
Same thing.
Same thing? Okay, the next one is my wife's absolute favorite horror icon, and that's why it made the list. Because I honestly forgot about this one, but she didn't. Trust me, this is her favorite. And that is the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. That big winged bitch that flies around. Okay, now this category, it's going to be my first dead as fuck. I think I'm fucked if that thing comes after me. First of all, nobody ever has beat it. I mean, there's no way to really hurt it. It's some supernatural being that kills pretty much everybody. You might be able to escape if you're lucky, if you can kind of wait the clock out, kind of barricade yourself somewhere where it doesn't know who you are, or maybe you can, get in a car and haul ass or something. Who knows? Try to get away. You might, probably not. I'm going to put that one in the dead as fuck category. What do you think, old boy?
More dead category, but there is a chance of survival. Uh, uh, um, if he's not looking for you, you're pretty much fine. If he's looking for you, you're probably fucked. But there is people who beating him. He doesn't die. He comes back, but they have stopped him. So I would say there's about an 85% chance you're going to get fucked and 15% chance you might survive. And also more, you're fucked. We'll just go on.
Okay. The next one on this list is Pennywise. Now, Pennywise looks frightening. Pennywise, when you watch the movies, you're like, I don't know, that might be a handful, right? But with the new It movie that they came out with, it kind of showed his weakness, right? Like, he's not that hard to actually beat. All you got to do is talk shit to him. You call him a little bitch, insult him, make him cry, and he turns into a little puddle of pussy, right? So I'm going to absolutely put Pennywise in the make him my bitch category. Because if there's one thing that we are both good at, that's talking shit. So I don't have any fear of Pennywise whatsoever. What do you think, brother?
Fuck that clown.
You put him in the make your bitch category as well?
I'd slap that little bitch and fucking throw him back in the sewer and then take his balloon and shove it up his ass.
All right, the next one is one of my favorite horror movies. It's a whole big series, but the original was one of my favorites, and that is the inbred dudes from Wrong Turn. I love the first movie of that. Now, Wrong Turn, at first I was going to say make them my bitch, right? Because, yeah, they're freaky, but they're just people, right? And I can handle people. I'm a bad man. So, but the problem with the Wrong Turn boys is there's so damn many of them. You know what I mean? That's the issue. You might get a few of them, but they might get you too. So I'm going to put that one in the toss up category. I might get injured, but I'll probably survive. But another thing about the Wrong Turn boys is that's my people. You know what I mean? I'm a redneck hillbilly boy. So I know people like that. I can get along with those guys. You know what I mean? We'll just hang out. So probably I'd be 100% all right. But I'm going to put them in the toss-up category because you never know what kind of mood they're in. What do you think, brother?
I'd probably have to agree with you on that. It'd be a toss-up. Now, if it was me and you, I think we'd take him. But if it's not, yeah, it'd probably be a problem if it's just one of us. Probably the same thing, 50-50.
Okay, now another rule I'm gonna say as we go, and that I forgot to talk about in the beginning, is this is the assumption that we are already in a situation where these guys are after us. Okay, so like on some of these, you can't say, well, like I would have never done that in the first fucking place, so I'd be safe. We're in that situation. We're already caught. We're already facing them. So that's the kind of rule there. The next one is Candyman. That's one of my wife's favorite horror movies as well. She loves Candyman. Now, see, the reason I gave that rule is because, like, I wouldn't say Candyman in the mirror 5 times and call him. I'm not an idiot, right? So I would never be in that situation, but this is assuming we're already in that situation. I don't think Candyman is that big of a badass, right? I mean, he is, but he's not somebody I couldn't handle. The problem with Candyman is the bees for me, because I almost got killed by bees. I got lit up by a bunch of black hornets, and I looked like that. Hey, you guys, that guy off fucking Goonies. That's what I look like, dude. My shit swelled all up, my throat swelled closed. I spent 5 hours in the ER, and I don't remember any of them. I almost died. So the bees would be the problem for me. I'd be probably fucking dead, simply because I'd go into anaphylactic shock and die probably. So that's what I'm going to say is I'm probably fucking dead. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, there's no winning that. Now, like I said, unless you call on him, but you're not going to win one. He's a demon. 2, he has the bees and he has a fucking hook, and he's shooting him. It isn't going to do nothing. So you're probably fucked.
The next one is Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter isn't supernatural. He doesn't really have any superpowers or anything like that. His only advantage really is his intellect, that he's very, very smart. I'm not afraid of that. I'm pretty damn smart myself. So I think Hannibal Lecter, I would probably make him my bitch because he's not going to outsmart me. He's not going to use psychological warfare on me and convince me to do shit. And at the end of the day, he's just a man, and he's not even that bad of a man. I mean, it's none of the people that he kills because he's just overwhelming force or such a super badass. He just outsmarts everybody. So I'm going to put Hannibal Lecter in the make him my bitch category. What do you think, bud?
Same thing, make him my bitch, but I wouldn't underestimate him. That because he's very smart. Very smart. He might figure out how to beat you.
That's
so
true.
you got to remember that. Yep.
That is absolutely true. The next one is one of my, if not my absolute favorite horror figures, and that's Freddy Krueger. First horror movie that ever actually scared me in my life. Now, granted, I was a little kid, was the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And the reason why is because I have all these horrible dreams anyway. And the idea of somebody who comes after you in your dream, and that's his domain, his realm, and he can control everything there and you can control nothing. That's a terrifying idea. And I think that Freddy absolutely would go in my I am fucking dead category. He's probably the top of that category. There's nobody on the list tonight that's going to be more in that category probably than him. And that's simply not because he's the baddest dude out there. There's people that are stronger, that are scarier. But it's just the fact that you can't get away. There's literally no way to get away from Freddy Krueger. He can just wait you out. You're going to have to sleep. And as soon as you sleep, you're fucked. So I'm fucking dead, bro. That's my ruling on Freddy. He's going to kill me, and that sucks. There's nothing I would be able to do about it. What do you think?
Okay, so let me get into this. See, we and him are very opposite. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Robert Englund. I think he played Freddy Krueger great. I like some of the movies, but I can't stand Nightmare on Elm Street. But yeah, you're pretty much fucked. But if you pull him out of the dream, you can beat him. But again, he'll just come back and get you. Unless you're Nancy. Nancy found the way to beat him. So remember, he was beaten by a human. So I would say 90%, 100% if you're in his dream world. 95% if you're in the real world. You could still, there's a little bit of a possibility if you can get him and kill him. But other than that, you're fucked.
Problem is, he just keeps coming back. That's the issue. Even no matter how they beat him, no matter what they do, the fucker just keeps coming back. And he's going to get you eventually. So I would say Nancy found a way to pause him. You know what I mean? To like extend her life, but I don't think she's ever gonna win because he just never stops. He keeps coming. The next one is Ghostface. Ghostface is probably one of the highest on the make him my bitch category for me because it's just a dude in a goofy costume, with a regular old knife. Doesn't have any special training. He doesn't have any superpowers. Just some guy. And the reason I say he's one of the highest on that list is that the outfit he's wearing makes it very difficult for him to be an effective fighter anyway. He's wearing a dress and a mask that he can't see out of barely. You know what I mean? That's not a very good idea for combat. So, I mean, Ghostface comes after me, I'm going to fuck him up. Now, there's a couple Ghost Faces each time. It's never just one, so that's one issue there. But unless you sneak me somehow, I'm fucking you up all day long. I'm not afraid of Ghostface at all. He's going to be my bitch. What do you think, bud?
I gotta totally agree with you. Plus, I hate the Scream movies anyway. But the only thing is, like you said, you did say what I was going to say anyway. If there's more than one, and who it is, it could be somebody you don't even fucking know. But it's always the same story. It's the same bullshit. It's somebody's coming after her now. Now it's the guy's daughter was the original killer. Now sees him, and then she's getting chased. It's just, and they're making another one, bringing Sydney back there, and I bet you she's gonna die. That's how I feel. They're gonna kill her off because the other girl. But yeah, you're pretty much. I can't stand that movie. Other than the first one was cool, but after that, it was I'm done. But yeah, I gotta agree. I'd kick that guy's ass.
Yeah, and as a bonus one, the killer from I Know What You Did Last Summer, same thing. Just some fucking rando in a raincoat with a hook. Who cares? Fuck him. I'd kick his ass. The next one is one of the baddest on the list. Um, Definitely a contender for the number one spot of the best horror icon of all time. There's a small grouping of 4 or 5 that I would put there. Maybe we'll do a show on that in the future, who we think the best are. But it's Jason Voorhees. Now, Jason Voorhees, I think that's another one where I'm fucking dead, because the only chance you got against Jason is just hauling ass, just getting out of there and staying ahead of him. You can last if you stay ahead of him and don't ever let him catch you. But the problem is, I mean, the dude went to Manhattan, the dude went to space. I mean, there's really nowhere you can go where he's not going to find you, and he never quits. He just keeps on coming. We saw several times in those movies where somebody survived, and then in a later movie, he got him because he still went after him all them years later. You know what I mean? So I would say probably Jason Voorhees, I'm fucking dead. Definitely, if you try to stand and fight the dude, you're fucked. You're just not beating him. He's got supernatural strength, healing abilities. Uh, he can even transfer his soul into another body. You know what I mean? We saw that with the coroner where he popped. I mean, dude, you're fucked. Especially if he transfers into another body, you don't even know who he is. So I would say definitely I'm fucking dead with Voorhees. What do you think, old boy?
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Even me and James would be fucked. We would be fucked on that one. There's a couple things I want to say that not only that, he also beat Freddy in Freddy versus Jason and stuck his hand up his ass. So not on top of that, there's in the Jason Goes to Hell in that version, he said he might be related to the Deadites because then they were going to do the Ash versus Freddy movie. They actually did the comic book, and actually Ash beat Freddy. He couldn't stop Jason, and he took off and retreated. That's why they didn't make the movie, because they wanted Ash to win. No, me and you would be fucked. And we would, but I'll tell you this right now. It would be a great fight. We wouldn't win, but I would like to do it. But now, yeah, we're pretty much fucked. Yeah, that's probably a 99% chance right there. 99.5. We're fucked.
The next one on the list is one that old boy really likes. I think I remember him saying that he really likes this one. That's Leatherface. Leatherface is one of those ones that's scary for a lot of people because of the chainsaw. But a lot of those people don't really have much combat experience. Not enough, at least, to realize that a chainsaw is not a very good weapon. I mean, yes, it would suck if he cut you with it. Absolutely, it would suck. Don't get me wrong. But it's not very easy to wield. You don't have a lot of accuracy with it. It's heavy. You got to swing it in wide arcs. It's easy to dodge. And if the chain pops off that fucker, that's it. Game over. It's a club at that point. It doesn't matter. And it's not hard to knock a chain off a chainsaw. Literally, if you can grab anything that's heavy and hit the chainsaw with it, you have a chance of knocking that chain off if you hit it from the side. So not that impressive. And the fact that really all you got to do to beat Leatherface is just leave. Just leave. I mean, how many times in those movies did somebody get away almost? But then they never leave. They like run 5 or 6 steps out. Then, oh shit, my friends. And then they turn around and go back. Fuck my friends, dude. Just leave. Leave. And you're done. You're safe. It's not like Leatherface is going to your house to kill you. Unless you're right around his house, either on the road around his house or at his house, you're safe pretty much. So I would say Leatherface, probably make him my bitch. I mean, there's a chance he might get a lucky slice in with that chainsaw. Maybe hit me, but I doubt it. I mean, that's not a very good weapon to use. A simple bat, even a heavy branch, you could knock that shit right out of his hand with it. You know what I mean? Because you got to think, when you're holding a chainsaw is a 2-hand weapon. You got to have one hand up here on the handle, and then another hand down here on the trigger, in order to make it anything. So you're very limited with what you can actually do with that. It's not like you can fling it around like this and strike. You know what I mean? You can't. It's just, you know what I mean? Not scary. Very easy to disarm him, very easy to whoop his ass. And with that shit on his face, he probably can't see very well. You know, he's only got the little holes where the other person's eyes were, and he's got multiple layers, so it's all caked on and fucked. I doubt he has very good peripheral vision. You could just dance around him all day and dot his fucking eye for him. I don't think he'd be a problem. I'm gonna say make him my bitch. What do you think, old boy?
It matters which one we're talking about. The 1971, I'm not worried about. The new one, yes, because he's a lot bigger and he's a mutated freak. And he also uses that damn hammer. So, and you got to worry about his family. That's the other one you forgot. His family helps him a lot. I wouldn't say, I would probably say if I got that chainsaw away from him, make him my bitch. But you got to worry, you forgot his family. So it would be, I'd say 60-40. I'd make it. He's one of my favorites. I like him more in the movies. I think the movies, but the first one was good. But there's two different versions of Leatherface. There's the Sawyer one and the other one, the new one. And the new one's a lot different, dude. Like he's a lot faster and he's mute. So, I mean, like, I'd still get that chainsaw and shove it up his ass, but I'd probably have to agree with James. But you forgot his family's always getting involved. So you got to remember that aspect. That's one part you did forget about it, about them. So I'd probably have to agree with you, but it wouldn't be easy. It wouldn't be like, oh, I'll just slap around, he's done. It's on the borderline. Like, I'd still think we'd win 70, maybe 70-30. If his family's in, it's 60-40. So I'd see it that way. But other than that, yeah, probably the same. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you that the family would pose a problem, but Leatherface is the baddest of the whole family. So I'm not particularly worried about the family as much. You know what I mean? Because they're just people. And I mean, you can fight more than one person if you're trained. The key would be to not stand and get surrounded and fight them. Because then you might be fucked. Because then you got the brothers with the knives and you got Leatherface with a chainsaw. What you want to do is get off the X and move and take them out as you go if they get in your way. You know what I mean? But just leave. You know what I mean? Just as soon as you get the opportunity, boom, get out of there. You know what I mean? That's what I think. The next one is probably a lot of people are going to be shocked by this one. Leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies. Now, I actually enjoy the Leprechaun movies because one, Warwick Davis is a freaking brilliant actor, and I love that guy. But two, they're funny, man. I just like them. Leprechaun, make him my bitch. I don't think, and you're going to be shocked by that because he's like a supernatural creature with all these powers and everything. But I'm not saying I could whoop the Leprechaun's ass. What I'm saying is it'd be very easy not to die because what's his motivation? He's after his gold coins. In this scenario, we stole one of his gold coins. That's why he's after us. All he wants is his gold coin back. So just give him his shit. He shows up, man, oh, fuck, here, dude. Sorry. Here's your gold coin back. I'll help you get some more, and you're cool. That's really all he wants. Now, he might want to punish you for taking his gold coin, and in that case, that would bump him probably up to the, toss-up kind of category of who knows what would happen. He's not very tough. He's a little bitty fella. He does have magic and shit, so that would be a problem. But most likely, if you just gave him his shit back, you got a pretty good chance of getting away. That's what I think. So I'll put him in my. I think actually I'll move him to the toss-up category instead of making my bitch. Simply because if he decides that he is pissed that I took his gold and gave it back, and that's not good enough, he would be a handful. So I'll put him in the toss-up category. What do you think, old boy?
Pretty much the same thing because you can't kill him and he keeps coming back. And I got to give it to Warwick Davis is one of the most underrated actors. Yeah. Guy was in so many. I like the Leprechaun series, especially Willow. Sad that they canceled Willow after one season. I was disappointed, but I've always thought Warwick Davis is one of the most very underrated, very, very genuine, very intelligent person. If you've ever seen him in real life, he's actually really smart and it's just very underrated actor. But yeah, I gotta agree with James. Same thing.
The next one is probably the favorite of a lot of the ladies who are watching right now. For some reason, they just find him incredibly sexy. That's Michael Myers. Now, Michael Myers, I don't know, man. I'm gonna put him probably in the toss up category. I'm not gonna say I'd make him my bitch because Michael Myers has a lot of strength. Not like Jason Voorhees level strength, but he's not a wimp. He has that healing power too. I mean, how many times did he get his eyes shot out and stabbed out and shit, and they just grow back like no big deal, like it never happened? Got caught on fire, no problem, he's back. Shot in the head, no problem, he's back. So he has like supernatural healing. There's lore that he was the product of some kind of ancient curse and all this stuff, and he was actually a demonic thing. So you got that going as well. So he's kind of a supernatural killer. And I think the main thing about Michael Myers is persistence. I mean, the dude never stops. He's been chasing his sister for like 40 years or something. He just never stops. So that would be a problem. You know, that would definitely be a problem. Now, the reason he's not in the I'm fucking dead category is because, with the exception of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, he's not very big. You know, I'm a lot bigger than he is. So he doesn't, he's not a physically imposing person that I couldn't handle. The problem is you can't get rid of him. He'll just keep coming. So it would have to be knock him on his ass and then get out of there. And then he'd find you again eventually. And then knock him on his ass and get out of there. You know what I mean? It'd be a constant thing. And eventually he'd probably get you because you're going to get old and you're going to get slow. You know, or he's going to catch you napping one day where you're not paying attention and fuck you up. But I don't put him in the I'm dead as fuck category because I don't think that he's anything I couldn't handle at the moment. But I also don't put him in the making my bitch category because even though I may handle him in the moment, he ain't going away. I'm going to have to handle him over and over and over again. And each time we get into it, it's a toss up, really, of what's going to happen. You know, I'm not saying I'll whoop his ass every time. He'll get me eventually, I'm sure. He might even get me the first time. You know, all I'm saying is I got a fighting chance against the guy because I don't think that he's stronger or like overwhelmingly stronger than me or better than me where I could not do anything. That's basically what I'm saying. So I'm going to put him in the kind of toss up category of who knows what will happen. I'll probably get fucked up in some way, but I'll probably survive it for a while at least. So that's where I'd put him. What do you think, old boy?
Okay, I'm going to do this in three categories. The original one, no, I'm not worried about. I'd say 50. I'd say, like you said, be able to take care of it. The newer Halloween, the one where they had like 30 people kick his ass. He got up and killed them all. You got to remember that he did. And he's supposed to be, like he said, something evil, and he's supposed to be the evilest spirit ever. So it is supernatural. He's just going to come back and get you. So pretty much on the borderline of you're fucked and maybe get out of it. The Michael Myers from Rob Zombie, even though I hate that movie, I wouldn't want to. I'd be fucked. That's where we could do it on the three categories because there's three different Michael Myers. If you look at it, that would be the one where you're fucked. He's too big. If he got a hold of you, I mean, he might be able to run, but if he's like them and he's just 6'8", there's no stopping him. He's like a Jason Voorhees but bigger, and there's nothing you're gonna do. So I give it in three different categories, and that's how I did it.
Another thing we didn't talk about with Michael Myers, the dude can drive. And you might think, well, so what? He can drive. But think about that. Like, almost none of these killers on the list really drive around and do anything. They walk after you, most of them real slow. But he could get in a car and chase your ass. You know what I mean? To catch back up with you. So that's another thing. And he's crafty as fuck, too. And slick. So, I don't know. I agree with old boy. The next one, Chucky. Now, I love the Child's Play movies. Right? I don't think Chucky's particularly scary. I'm not worried about it. He's definitely, right off the bat, I'm going to say he's definitely going into make him my bitch category. Because I would grab his little bitch ass, throw him in my wood stove, and that's it. No more fucking Chucky. He would not be a problem at all. I mean, not even break a sweat. Fuck, he's a little bitch, right? But I love watching the Chucky movies. He's funny as hell, and it's just entertaining. You know, now, in the later Chucky movies, you got Tiffany as well. And that little freaky ass kid. Then you got Numbers, but still, they're little tiny dolls. What the fuck are they really going to do? Just whoop their ass. You know what I mean? Chop them up, throw them in a wood stove, whatever. They're done. So definitely making my bitch. What do you think, old boy?
Well, I'm going to do this in two different categories. The one that the remake they just made, that thing was a fucking joke. The one that unfortunately, Mark Hamill did a voice, and that was about the only good thing about it. That one is, you want to be my buddy? I'd fucking throw him right in the fire and tear him right in half. The second one, the only one you have to worry about, I don't know if you watched the TV series, Tiffany's a problem because she went back to human form. So that, yes, that would be the only thing I'd be worried about, but I would still be I'd beat his ass. He'd be my bitch. But then I'd be taking Tiffany and really making my bitch, because I've always had a thing for Jennifer Tilly. Even though she's old, I don't give a fuck. She's hot. I've always thought she was beautiful. It's one of my crushes right there. That little voice, and oh my God, she was gorgeous when she was younger with that black hair. I don't care now. She's still gorgeous, but I'd probably let her, I'll be her bitch for the night. Getting everybody laughing.
I definitely 100% agree with you. Jennifer Tilly is beautiful. Still to this day, go look her up on Instagram or something, dude. She's still beautiful, and she's just got a great attitude, and she's funny, and the voice is amazing, and her, assets are amazing as well. She is smoking hot. I agree 100%. That would be the only problem with Chucky, is Tiffany in human form is so damn hot that you just might stop for a minute and go, damn. And that might be just enough to get your ass. You know what I mean? So with Tiffany, that might move it up into the toss-up category, because you never know, man. You start staring at her, and that's definitely a distraction. Chucky might get your ass. The next one on the list is Norman Bates. Um, Norman Bates is a character like the original Psycho movie. I just didn't care. Making my bitch. He's nothing. But they did that Bates Motel TV show with the guy that plays in The Good Doctor. That was a hell of a good show. I really enjoyed that show. Still making my bitch. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Norman Bates ain't doing shit, man. First of all, he's a freaky little bastard, right? He's not a big guy. He's a little skinny prick, and he's freaky as hell. So right away when you see him, you're like, there's something wrong with that fucking guy. If you've ever been in fights in your life, even just normal fights, right? You have this sixth sense inside of you that you can just tell when something's off. And when you look at a guy like that, you're like, there's something fucking wrong with that guy. So you keep your eye on that guy. That guy's never going to surprise somebody who's ever been in a lot of fights or been in a hairy situation. Because I'm going to take one look at that guy and say, there's something wrong with that fucker. I'm watching him. He's going to do something. You know what I mean? He's just shifty as all fuck. Now, the only chance he might have is if he busted in my room and drag, I might laugh so hard he might get a stab off or something before I can recover. You know what I mean? But ain't no cross-dresser taking me out, dude. No chance. I would whoop his ass. And he would not even be a challenge. Definitely make him my bitch. He's already got the dress for it. What do you think, old boy?
Slap that motherfucker around. You can't ever underestimate somebody crazy. But I'd stick that damn knife up his ass and you got to remember the reason he wears the dress because he thought he was his mom. So he was out there, but I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, the show was pretty decent. I actually like it. The first Psycho, don't get me wrong, from the 60s, it was a brilliant movie. You can't say Alfred Hitchcock was awesome how he did that movie, and no one's seen anything. That shower scene is one of the most famous scenes of horror. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the house is creepy. But other than that, he's a weirdo. I'd beat his ass. I would whoop his ass. He's probably the weakest on the list, bro.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
The next one is Pinhead. This is one that I'm kind of half and half on, because Pinhead's not really all that badass, really. Yeah, he can make hooks and shit shoot out at you and catch you and all that. But the problem with Pinhead, now keep in mind the rules. We are there. Okay? It's not like, well, he wouldn't get me because I wouldn't open the fucking little puzzle box, so I'd never be there, right? But first off, I'd probably open the little puzzle box because I love puzzles and I couldn't resist. Like Rubik's Cubes, all those things, I solve them easily. And if there was a puzzle like that I couldn't solve, I would play with that fucking thing till I figured it out. That's just how I am. So I probably would end up there even without the rules. But the rules are that we're already there, and now we got to deal with this shit. So Pinhead could be a problem because he's got all the motherfuckers with him, you know? And also you're in hell and you're not really getting away. That's the problem, is how the hell do you get out of there? You know? So I would say with Pinhead, probably I'm fucking dead. And it hurts me to say that I'm fucking dead because I don't think Pinhead's all that impressive, really. You know, I'm not saying he's a pussy. He definitely would never be in the making my bitch category. Um, I was gonna say toss up, but then just the fact of how the hell do you get back out of there? Now you're fucked. You're caught in hell. How do you get back out? Right? So probably one of them are gonna get you before you figure that shit out. So I'm gonna say most likely it's in between toss up and I'm fucking dead, but most likely I'm probably gonna be fucking dead in that situation. What do you think, old boy?
Okay, so this is where we're going to differ on this one. Yeah. Now, remember, Pinhead's also a hell priest. He's one of the leaders in the Leviathan. And you got to see, if you see the newer movies, he's even more powerful. And the woman version of it, it's cool too. She's pretty badass, bro. The only way you survive when you don't mess with that box. There isn't no way of killing Pinhead. He's a demon. He's coming back. And if you've seen, just so you know, if you've ever seen that one Judgment, he killed Michael, and then he got turned into a human. That was his punishment from God after kill, because there's rules in hell. You have, but in that one, Michael was a woman and he killed her. He was tired of her mouth. She kept talking shit, and he killed her. So you got to remember, and just remember, he got turned into a human, but he was so powerful he killed Michael the angel. So you're fucked. Unless you, now the one way you survive is you don't mess with that box. But if you get in that box, there's unless you know how to, you can maneuver the box to get out, but they'll always find a way to bring you back. Because once you deal with something like that, like they said, they'll find you. Even if you escape, remember they found those two and brought them back to hell. And you, like I said, that's a whole nother level. That's a he's working for a fallen angel. If you see the Bible, Leviathan is one of the 7 princes of hell. So you're pretty fucked. I would be fucked. There's no way of getting out of that. I'm talking about if we're stuck in that. You're saying we're stuck in the box. 99% chance you're not getting out of that. Guns ain't gonna help you. You know, you being a Christian. Remember when he went on Earth, he went into the priest's place, and he told him you can't be here, and it didn't stop him. So it's a real even on Earth that he's almost unstoppable. So yeah, you're pretty fucked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's kind of was why I put him in the I'm fucking dead category, because it's like I think I could escape a little bit, right? Like I don't think he'd get me right away, but you're not getting away. You're there with him. You're fucked. He's gonna get you eventually. The next one on the list is The Strangers from the Strangers movies. Those movies were cool. I enjoyed those movies, but I think definitely on this one it's between Make 'Em My Bitch and it's a toss up. The only reason it would even be close to a toss up is simply because of how many there are. But usually they attack one at a time. So one at a time, I'm going to make them my bitch. They're not impressive at all. Just they have weapons. I can defend against a knife. I can defend against anything they have. I'll make him my bitch. That's what I think about The Strangers. But I do enjoy the movies. What do you think, old boy?
The first one was good. The second one was stupid, and the new one was all right because they're gonna open. It's open for another one. Pretty much, if you're by yourself, it would be a little hard. That's where it's a toss up and making my bitch because there's more than one. If it was just me and you against them, they would be our bitches. We'll take those masks from them and kick their ass, and that would be the end of them. And we could probably kill them. So. That aspect, if it was me and you, we'd take them. If it was a single one of us, we would have to probably really fight because it's 3 or 4 of them, and you don't know where they're at. Plus, they're at their place. It's not like I'm living there, so they have the advantage. I would probably. It wouldn't be easy. I'll tell you. If you're by yourself, it wouldn't be easy. That's all I can say. That.
The next one on this list is probably going to be, if not old boy's favorite, definitely up there in the top 2 or 3 for old boy, and that is his boy Art the Clown. I included this one on the list not because I like those movies that much. I really don't, but just because I know that old boy loves the Terrifier movies. So Art the Clown. Most likely making my bitch. He's just a guy. He's not that impressive build, but the problem that he would pose is that he's fucking out of his mind and he's brutal as shit. So you're going to have to really, really put him down, I think, to stop him. He's not one of those guys that he's going to get hurt and go away. You're going to have to destroy this man in order to stop him. So that's what would put him maybe a little bit towards the toss up category, but most likely I'm making him my bitch. What do you think, old boy?
So right now, Art the Clown's a demon. He came back to life from. You haven't seen the third one, so I don't want to ruin it for him. But Art the Clown is a demon that is possessed from one of them in hell, and the girl is from heaven. So, and he still came back. He came back to life. He got his head. He's no human being. He's a demon. So that changes this. So he got. You said in the second one, he's back. He got his head cut off. He got it back. So he's no human. So that changes that to you're fucked because unless you're her now, because she was. See, they're doing the whole good and evil thing in this. She's of God and he's of the devil. That's how we do it right there. And they basically are trying to destroy themselves. He kills with reckless abandonment, especially in this third one. Like I said, the third one is worse than the first two. No. Me and you might be able to stop him, but he'd come back. So that would, like you said, it wouldn't be make my bitch. That would be more between me and you. We'd probably be able to, on that borderline of no, not being able to kill him or maybe get away with it. That all because you believe in what you believe in. You might be able to stop him, but I don't know. It's more higher than that, bro. And that's why I said I was going to let you know he's no human. He's actually he's a demon, and he can come back in bodies as a demon and get another body and do. He basically does what Michael Myers was doing, where he can jump bodies. So that's what makes him dangerous. That's the other thing about making him dangerous. And one thing I wanted to say about Pinhead, you forgot the Cenobites. We forgot to talk about them. That makes him even more dangerous because he's got those motherfuckers, and he can make just humans turn into Cenobites. So I forgot about that. That makes him even more dangerous. That's another thing that we forgot about on that one. But Art the Clown is more. If you see the third movie, you understand it. You're pretty fucked because he gets shot. He still comes back. It doesn't matter. I'd be more fucked. And the guy plays David Thornton's 6'3". He's not a small guy. So you're taller than a lot of people, James. You're JC Voorhees tall, but he's 6'3.5". So he's almost as tall as you. So he's not like Michael Myers. He's a skinny guy, but he's not a guy anymore. He's actually a straight demon. So that changes the whole aspect of how you would fight him. So it'd probably be more that you would be in the middle on that one because now knowing he's a demon, that changes. And he has a friend with him now too. So it makes, and she's undead too, so it makes it even worse. There's two of them now. So he always comes in twos. Remember, he had that little girl in the last one. So you got to remember he can get other people to join him. That makes him even more dangerous. So and it's not because he's one of my favorites, because I hate clowns. That's what's so funny, but I love him. The way he kills people, and just so you know, go see Terrifier 3, and this is why. That movie was All Hallows Eve was made with like $10,000. Some of the people we know were involved in some of these movies. And it's becoming the number one unrated independent movie of all time. It's almost made $30 million. And it had a $2 million budget, so 2.5. So that's why it's such a win, because we know people who are in that independent Z movies, and this is a super Z movie, not a super B, a super Z movie. It's now on the top. Everybody knows who it is. It's the number one movie in America. That's in the world. And if James being, we have friends in the independent scene, and that what the beauty about it, we're seeing the little guy win, and that's what's great. So that would be my vote.
Yeah, knowing that, because I haven't seen the third one. I've seen the first one all the way through and part of the second one. I'm just not a fan of the movies, so I haven't really watched a lot of it. But knowing that now, I would definitely move him up between Toss Up and I'm Fucked. You know what I mean? That's where I would put him, knowing that he's a demon and can keep coming back and everything. The next one is Children of the Corn. This one kind of makes me laugh. I like the movie, but I don't sweat kids, man. Now, first of all, kids are like creepy as fuck, and there's nothing worse than a little creepy ass kid in a movie. You know what I mean? But we're not looking at it like, would that be scary or would that be creepy? It's, would I survive? And yes, I'm pretty sure that I would make them my bitch. Dude, they're kids. Just fucking all day smack the shit out of them. You know what I mean? I would just break them in half. Just pick up one and hit the other ones with it. Fuck, they're nothing. They're little kids. You know. So I think definitely make them my bitch in that category. Wouldn't be much of an issue. And also, I wouldn't stay to fight. You know what I mean? You see a bunch of kids come out of the corn like that with weapons and shit. Just take off. Get the fuck out of there. You know. First off, why do you want to beat down a bunch of kids anyway? Right? Like I would just leave, even in real life. If I'm hanging out somewhere in real life and a bunch of kids come out from around the back of a building or something with weapons, I'm just going to go away. You know, I'm just going to get the fuck out of there because there's no winning that situation. Yes, I could probably whoop their ass and do a lot of damage if I wanted to because I can fight. I'm trained and they're kids. But who wants to beat down a bunch of kids? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, definitely making my bitch. I'm surviving 100%. You know, there's no chance. What do you think, brother?
I wouldn't worry about the Children of the Corn, but you got to worry about Malachi because he came back as a demon. Remember, the demon's there. That's what runs the corn. That's why they're doing what they're doing. I wouldn't sweat the children too much, but there is a lot of them. So me and James, you'd probably get out of there. By ourselves would be a little bit challenging because that if there is that demon, you forgot about that aspect of it. If the demon comes after you and helps them, it'd be a little bit on the border of in the middle and my bitch. That you got to remember that they're also the demon part of it. But I think I would get out of that anyway because we deal with demons anyway. But it wouldn't be easy. But we'd probably make it. Especially me and you, we'd probably kick their ass, take the corn and cook some corn on the cob, and demon would be gone, and that would be the end of that. But it would be more like lower. It's probably the second lowest on the list next to Norman. That's what I would put it at.
The next one is the xenomorph from Aliens. I think that's a tough one. I definitely don't put it at making my bitch because those alien things are brutal, dude. They can travel through like vents and shit and all over the place, and they're brutal. They're not supernatural. They're biological creatures, so it wouldn't be that difficult to kill it. But the problem is, it's like a hive. There's a fuck ton of them. So even if you killed one or two, you got a whole bunch more. You know, you got to wipe out. And so that for that reason, I would definitely put it in the toss up who knows category. Most likely, I'm gonna get fucked up in some way. You know, I'm gonna come out of that thing injured. I have a decent chance of surviving, but they could get me. But I'm not definitely fucked. So that's where I would put it. What do you think, old boy?
It matters which ones they send after you. Remember, they have the gorilla ones are huge and they can actually kill predators. Those ones are a bitch because you got to, even if you cut them, if they get blood on you, they're screwed because they have acid for blood. You could get a couple, but like you said, if like they remember hives, if they send the hive, you're fucked. Me and you, even me and you or 20 people there, we're fucked. That's more on the level of, like you said, in the middle, or you're fucked. It matters the situation. Sigourney Weaver survived him, barely, but look at all the stuff. And the new one's more of a prequel, and it kind of it shows you some of the stuff that happened beforehand, right after the first movies. Is what they're the new one's about. The new Alien. It was pretty good. Probably like in the middle or higher up. If there's going to be more than one, bro. So if we have 500 of them coming out of us, we're going to have to haul ass. It isn't going to be easy. Not at all. It's going to be really hard. And that's probably out of the they're not paranormal or nothing, but they are not human alien. They're super alien. So yeah, you got to also worry about that thing spitting out and fucking getting in your face and laying eggs, and you got to forget that one. And they also spit acid. And then you got the queen one, the huge one, and that ain't no joke, bro. You got to have a tank to kill that motherfucker. Yeah, it matters which one they are and how many there is. So you're on the borderline upper of you're fucked in a bad way, even with the weapons you have. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. Speaking of Predator, that's the next one on the list is the Predator. This one definitely not making him my bitch. I'm hesitant even to put him in the toss-up category, to be honest with you. Like, who knows what'll happen? I'm definitely getting injured. There's no doubt about that. The dude can be invisible. He can shoot you with like laser-like projectiles from way far away that blow shit up. Predator's a bad motherfucker. There's a possibility I survive simply because I'm trained if I'm lucky, but it's a super slim chance. Most likely I'm fucked. Most likely I'm gonna fucking be dead. So that's where I would put it, is probably in the I'm fucking dead category, but with a caveat of there's a slight chance if everything works out perfect and I get very lucky that I might be able to kill the son of a bitch and survive. You know, because even Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was a bad man in the movie, the only reason he survived is he got lucky and ended up in the mud and it blocked his thermal vision. And he's like, oh shit, I figured something out. But that was an accident. Like, if he wouldn't have ended up in that mud, that thing would have killed him just like it killed everybody else. You know, so yeah, I'm probably fucking dead. That's probably where I would put it. But there's a slight chance that I might be able to survive, but I seriously doubt it. What do you think, old boy?
It matters which one it is. If it's the big one, you're fucked. If it's the smaller ones, you have probably it's a 90 to 10, 95, 5%. Because remember, the Prey, she beat him. But it was a smaller one, and the other ones came for her. You got to remember, they kill aliens. They kill super soldiers. They killed most of those soldiers. And remember, they sent them in the Predators. They sent them into another land just to fuck with them. Yeah, Predators, I'm fucked. 98% chance, maybe a 1 or 2 if me and James are there. But and even then, if me and James, it's probably a 90-10. We might survive. They're gonna get us. If there's more than one, yeah, you were done. Yeah, maybe if there's 5 of them, yeah, we're fucked. We'll go out on our shield, but we're not gonna win that one. Not 5. They're too fucking. It's not. You got to realize they're highly trained to kill shit. Everywhere, not just humans, aliens, fucking everything. They go all over the world. Just that's why they're called predators. They're looking to kill shit. So they're no joke. They're going to fuck you. They're going to know how to do it because they've been doing it for 100 years longer. So yeah, and then they're invisible and they're fucking. They have big blades and they're ugly motherfuckers and they're tall. They're like 7-8 feet tall, and that one was like 10. No, you're fucked. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The next one, I put Old Boy's favorite on the list, so I put my favorite on the list as well. And that is the Firefly family from House of a Thousand Corpses and, you know, all of those movies that I love so much. Devil's Rejects, etc. This one is kind of the exact opposite of a lot of these that we've been talking about tonight. I'm not going to put them in the make 'em my bitch category. And that's not because they're my favorites, right? They are only people. And I would say one-on-one, I'm making them my bitch. I don't think there's one of them that I can't take one-on-one. The problem is the numbers. But even with the numbers, I'm still at the very upper level of the make 'em my bitch category. I'm not quite the toss-up, but I'm very close because there's a chance they might get me with the numbers. But the reason why I keep them in the make 'em my bitch category is because if you remember in the Devil's Rejects, Danny Trejo and DDP busted in there and whooped their ass and took them and tied them to chairs, fucked them up, right? So I could whoop Danny Trejo's ass and I could whoop DDP's ass, so I could probably take them too. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep them in the making my bitch category, but I'm going to say there is a slight chance that they might get me with the numbers if I don't see them coming. But most likely, if I see them coming, I'm gonna whoop their ass even with the numbers. So they're in the making my bitch category for me. What do you think, old boy?
You're forgetting one other aspect. Dr. Satan isn't human. And you forgot about him. They went away from Dr. Satan in the first one. And remember that big old motherfucker they dropped, remember they were chasing around in a bunny suit? He didn't die. So you forgot about him. And he's as big as you, and he doesn't die. So those two I would worry about the most. And Tiny, remember, but he died. But you got to remember, you forgot about Tiny. He's 7'3" or something like that.
I love Tiny. Tiny fucked a stump. Remember that with the menu?
Yeah. But I would be worried about him out of any of them. That's the one it probably you would, because one hit he'd kill you. So that one I would be worried at 50-50 on. Those two right there, those three. But other than that, yeah, pretty much on that level of you make him my bitch and surviving. And especially as me and you. But you forgot about Tiny. You got to have something to kill him. Now the other two, Dr. Satan's not human, bro. Like the other one wasn't. So that's the whole supernatural. So that gives him a little bit of an edge on the 50-50 thing. But we'd probably win. It wouldn't be easy. But we'd probably win.
These next two I'm going to put together. There's the next two on the list because I think they're really similar. And I think the answer is going to be the same for both of them. And that is Critters and Gremlins. Both of those are in the make of my bitch category for me. They're little tiny hamster-sized things. You know, they may be evil little shits. They may be little assholes that'll bite you or whatever. But essentially just stomp on them and they're dead. And I wear a size 14 extra wide shoe. I will just stomp the ever-loving shit out of them and kill them. You know what I mean? I'm not sweating them at all. I like the movies. I enjoy watching them. But I'm definitely making them my bitch. What do you think, old boy?
It matters because if they turn it, you got to remember the Gremlins. If there's more than one, how many Gremlins you're talking about? Like the whole horde, 100 of them. You got. It matters how many there is. Like, yeah, it wouldn't be easy. We'd make them your bitch, but if there's a lot of them, it would be very hard because they're assholes. Critters are a little bit. Remember, they can spin and get into one giant one. You forgot about that one. And they're aliens and they're harder to kill than the Gremlins are. I would not sweat the Gremlins, but they would make me laugh. That would be the only thing. Critters, I'd be a little worried if they gathered up more than like 100 of them. That's the only time. But yeah, they'd probably be third on the list of making my bitch, right there on the third, and then Critters be fourth, and then probably House fifth. But yeah, you're probably right. Gremlins are as funny as hell. I like that movie.
The last one on our list, and we might do an honorable mention after, but the last one is Jaws. The shark from Jaws. Now, this is one that without our rules, we're both surviving easy because we're not going to be out there on the fucking ocean in a boat with a giant fucking shark. It's not going to happen. I don't fuck around with the water because I don't want to fuck around with sharks, period. So, unless that shark can come to my home, knock on my door, and do the old candygram or whatever like that, you know what I mean? He's not getting my ass. But because of our rules, we're already out on the boat in the ocean or whatever, and we're dealing with that thing. I think most likely we're fucking dead. That's what I'm going to say for me. There are ways to defeat a great white shark. You can hit them on the nose because they have a lot of their sensory organs are right there in the tip of their nose. It really disrupts their entire mind. They can't do shit when you hit them on the nose. And you can strike the gills. Both of those things will definitely deter a great white shark and make him fuck off for a little while. That being said, Jaws is not a normal great white shark. He's much larger and he is a badass. So even though there is a slim chance I might survive, where the fuck are you going to go? You're in the middle of the ocean, fucking with this shark. You're screwed, you know? So most likely 99% I'm fucking dead if I had to deal with that thing. That's my ruling. What do you think, old boy?
Well, remember, Jaws is a megalodon. So, and Jaws is smart. You remember part 4? He knew to go after his family. He knew he wanted revenge, just like crows. They'll remember. And this motherfucker remembered. So it's not. It's a stupid shark. This shark knew about this family. It knew to come back and kill his son. And then at the end, she came after him. But part 3, he was 60 fucking feet long. No. And I don't know if you've seen Meg, that with Jason Statham. Another one came back, and this one was smart. No. Yeah. And he barely survived, and he had submarines. He have a submarine or something to survive, but they're almost as big as a submarine. So that you're give and take. But no, James, we're right. 99% of the time, you're fucked. If you're in a little pontoon boat, even if you get in the water, you're done. There's nothing you're gonna do. You can't fight and swing. You might get a spear. What the fuck is that gonna do? Not a shark like that. If you're lucky to get like something to blow it up like they did in the movie, that'd be the only chance you have, but it's very slim. You got a better chance in the boat, but if you're in the water, you're done, dude. I don't care what anybody says. There's no fighting that. You got a bus coming at you. You're not going to win. In real life, that's how big they are. People don't realize they're actually bigger than that. They're saying no. You're not going to win that fight. You might as well. And you know what? They're not going to attack you anyway. People don't realize they see you. You're not big enough. They're praise. They're go after fucking big prey unless they're starving. They're not going to go after you. Megalodons, you actually have less to worry about than a great white, because megalodons, they're not going to see you as a threat. They're looking for something bigger because we're not going to feed. They might attack you. They might just go right by you. That's why you never see them really attacking people. Now, I don't know if you've seen this last show. The guy was like in the Arctic, and they were on a boat, and they stopped, and they see this big ass fucking fin, and this motherfucker started chasing him, almost caught him until he got out of there. And they said the fin was bigger than half the boat, bro, and that means it was 75 feet long. No, no, I'm not scared of anything, but I don't like the ocean. And you know, there's another one that shows like this big old giant serpent. Now it's coming. Nope, fuck off. I'm staying in there. I'm staying in here. I'm good where I'm at. I gotta agree.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Jaws was a great white, not a meg. A megalodon I wouldn't be as afraid of as a great white shark, honestly, because they can't move as quickly. They can't move, turn as tightly, and you're a much smaller target, so it's much easier to hide from that thing than it would be a great white. A great white would be just trouble, if it decided it wanted to eat you. Now, see, once again, Jaws is not a normal great white. It had purpose. It wanted to kill you. A normal great white most likely is not going to try to kill you. It wants to eat seals. That's what it likes. It might kill you, and it has before. I'm not saying it won't, but I don't think every single time you see a great white shark, you're going to end up getting eaten. So I think what we'll do now to end the show is, in case I've missed any on the list, we will each do an honorable mention, somebody that we want to add to the list, one person, in case there's somebody that I didn't put on the list that old boy really wanted to. My honorable mention, I think, is going to be Kane from See No Evil. I love those movies, the two movies. I don't remember the character's name, but it was Kane, the wrestler that played it. I think he did a fantastic, spectacular job. I'm going to put that one in the toss-up category. Who knows what's going to happen in that fight? I'm definitely probably getting hurt. Kane's a big dude. He's a badass. And I'm probably not getting out of that thing unscathed. I think there's one more, actually, that I need to add to at the end of this that I just thought of that I didn't add, and I can't fucking believe that I didn't. But that's what I think about Kane from See No Evil. So, what do you think?
Jacob Goodnight. That's his
There
name.
you go. Yeah, that's it.
Probably the same thing. Toss up. Now, if it's me and you, would take him, but toss up if it's me by ourselves to maybe kicking her ass. I think he has the advantage. He's 6'11", 6'10", sorry, 6'9", somewhere around there, and 300 pounds. He's got the advantage, and it wouldn't be easy. We'll just put it that way.
Okay, I think the other one I want to add, that I forgot to add, I think, is Jigsaw. And I can't believe I didn't add Jigsaw, dude, from the Saw movies. I love the Saw movies. Um, Jigsaw's a fucking problem. Definitely not making him my bitch. He is a little puny, sickly fuck, right? But this is assuming that we're already in the traps here. We're fucked. We wake up and there we are, and we got to deal with it. You're not getting out of that without being injured. So at the very least, it's automatically in the toss-up category because you're gonna get hurt. Now whether you can survive it or not, I can probably figure out the traps to survive it. I'm smart enough, but a lot of times it's not a puzzle that you have to be so smart to figure out. It's more of, have you got the balls to do what's necessary to survive? And a lot of those traps, you're going to get really hurt in order to get out of it. That's the only way. And I think I could, but I definitely wouldn't look forward to it. So I'm going to put that in the toss-up category as well. Probably you're fucked. If you wake up in one of Jigsaw's traps, most likely you're fucked. But there's a chance you could survive, but you're not getting out of it unscathed. You're definitely getting fucked up a little bit. What do you think, old boy?
Yeah, I probably have to agree with you. Plus, he has other people working for him. It isn't just him, and he's brilliant. And you're pretty much fucked unless you can get out of it with being unscathed. But yeah, he's a problem. He's a very much of a problem. I gotta agree.
Do you have any honorable mentions that you want to do? Any people that I forgot?
Hell to the king, baby.
I knew you were going to do Evil Dead.
Now, Ash, I would say he'd be on the list of kicking people's asses and making my bitch, but no. One, he's been fighting demons, and he beat a supernatural demon from hell. Actually, in the Book of the Dead, they're actually above that. They're the ancient ones. They're the ones that were here before where there was light and then the darkness. He's got the experience. He might look like a dumbass, but he can fight, and he's got the chainsaw for a hand, and he's good with that damn gun. He's funny as hell, and he has backup. He has a couple people there too. You got to put that in that, and he knows how to use that book. If he gets a hand on that book, he's unbeatable. And he can turn. He's turned into a demon and got out of it. So now the original Ash, yeah, he's easy. You can kick his ass. But the Ash now and from an Army of Darkness, he's a badass dude. Like, he beat Evil Ash, and that was the leader of the Dead. So I would put him on, a little bit of my bitch, but on that spectrum of, he would be a challenge. He would be 50-50, kind of like, it'd be a toss-up on that one. On the Army of Darkness one, I'm talking both versions. The Army of Darkness one, yeah, he would be a toss-up. And the one where he's originally, yeah, he'd probably be number 6 on that list of the bitch. But I'm talking about full-blown Ash, kick your ass Ash, chainsaw Ash, going fighting demons in his prime Ash. I think he'd be on middle ground there. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. He would definitely pose a problem. And if you're talking Evil Dead, you're also talking about the demons too, like the Deadites or whatever. That's an issue too, because in a lot of that lore, I think you mentioned this earlier, Jason Voorhees is potentially one of them. And we all know that I put Jason Voorhees in the I'm fucking dead category. So most likely, if you include them in I'm fucking dead, just Ash by himself, it's a toss-up. I probably going to make him my bitch, most likely, because he's just a man. He can fight. He's got experience. So that would put him in the toss-up category for me. But I like my chances. But if you throw all those demons in and the Deadites and even Jason makes an appearance, something like that, yeah, I'm probably fucked. But, I would try. I have a chance. So I'll put him in the toss-up category. If he has all of them with him, it's the high toss-up, almost to the I'm fucked category. But that's where I would put it. So if that is all of them, we are over an hour now. Do you have one more? Go ahead, brother.
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead, yes.
No. He's a demon. He comes back. But if there's rules on it, that would be the only little bit of a chance. But Pumpkinhead's a demon. But you kill the person who he's possessed, he goes away, but he can still come back again and again. Now, if it's a situation where he's the demon coming after you, it doesn't matter. Me and James are there. He's probably going to kill us. So, yeah, you're fucked. Kind of on a little bit of a toss-up, but it matters the situation because guns don't kill him. It doesn't stop him. He's and the thing about it, God, and remember, like when he would go into church, you can't do nothing because it was like a curse or something. They made a bargain, so the guy gave up his soul. So there's no getting away from it unless you kill the actual person. Remember, he killed himself, and Pumpkinhead died. But then he'll just come back alive if they wanted to do it another person. So it's a curse. So really, it's kind of a cursed demon. So it's kind of there ain't no way of winning that probably. Unless you kill the guy. So more of a I'm fucked, but a little bit of a toss-up.
Yeah, I would agree. I would put that in the very top of the toss-up category. Most likely you're fucked. I think you can survive, but can you survive long term? Because he's going to keep coming back over and over and over again. So I think eventually he's going to get your ass. You know what I mean? And the last one we'll do before we wrap up is kind of going to be a multiple one, okay? Because we kind of did a lot of the modern stuff, but we really didn't do any classic stuff other than maybe Norman Bates. So let's say all of the old Universal monsters, Dracula, Wolfman, the Mummy, the Blob, Invisible Man, all that shit. Any of them, would they be in different categories or would they be all the same? I would think that most of them would be in the toss-up category for me. The ones that would give me the problem, Dracula would be an issue because he's a vampire, and vampires in all of the movies are like supernaturally fast and hard to kill, you know? So that would be a problem. But, you know, if you're sticking to the movie lore, then stake to the heart, sunlight, cut off its head, that kind of thing. It's possible. So I wouldn't put him in the I'm fucked category. You could take him out. The Wolfman, Silver Bullet takes him out, so that's doable. Definitely a high toss-up, though, because if he gets a hold of you, I mean, he's a Wolfman, so you might be fucked. The Mummy, no fear. No fear of the Mummy at all. Fuck the Mummy. He might be a badass, but he just, all them bandages, he looks stupid. I'm not afraid of him. The Invisible Man would be an issue because you can't see the bastard. He could literally just sneak up behind you and get you. So the Invisible Man is the only one that I'm going to put in the lower tier of the I'm fucked category, that I'm fucking dead. Simply because you can't see the bastard. You know, he may not be that bad of a fighter or that big of a guy or whatever, but if he's invisible, you're not going to know he's there until he does something. And that something could be blowing your fucking head off or stabbing you in the neck or something. You never even know it's coming. So I'm most likely fucked with him. The Blob is it's a toss-up. I mean, it depends on if you get cornered. You know, if I'm out on open ground, the Blob is my bitch. It's never going to get me because I can move way faster than it can. And the only way it's going to get you is if it covers you up. So I'm not afraid of that. You know what I mean? Now, if he gets you cornered where you got nowhere to go, then you're fucked. You know, so that would be a toss-up for me. And the last one in there, like the swamp thing, that thing, that's a toss-up too. He's strong, he's supernatural, all that stuff. But I spent a lot of time in the swamp, so I can navigate the swamps. You know, I can survive there. I don't think that he could kill me right away, so he'd have to find me again. So I would have a chance. So most of them toss-ups. The Blob probably is a making my bitch, and the Invisible Man is I'm fucking dead. I think that's my rule on it. What do you think, old boy?
The Blob, unless you freeze it, and it's just going to keep coming. So it's probably, I would be more of a, it's on the level of making my bitch, but it could be a toss-up. The Mummy is more of a toss-up because he is a badass because he keeps coming back from the dead. But I don't like the Mummy too much either. The Wolfman, either / aka werewolves, if you don't hit it with a bullet, you're fucked. And that's more something you got to worry about. Dracula, you have to realize cutting his heads off, they're saying that doesn't kill him anymore. They could come back. If you burn him in the sun, they can come back. You get him in the heart's the only way you could really kill him. But he's something different. He's a higher level vampire. So he'd be something more of like I'd be worried about. And in Invisible Man, I'd be worried about. And you're talking about the creature from the Black Lagoon. I actually wouldn't. I'd actually be a little bit make him my bitch because you can kill him. I'm not going to fight him one-on-one. That's a little bit of a problem. But other than that, I would take him. There is one you missed. The Frankenstein monster.
Oh, Frankenstein.
Now, that would be a problem because Frankenstein doesn't die. And he ended up being smart. And he hated humans. And he's fucking huge. And he doesn't die. So he would be more of... That would who I'd really be a problem, even for me and you. And except run away. But if he gets... But like the newer versions of Frankenstein, he can run. So... It's kind of a higher than a toss-up, somebody to worry about. You're fucked because he doesn't die, and you might be able to get him down, but he might come back, and then that's another he's one of my favorite guys. That's one of my favorite horror movies, The Bride of Frankenstein. So I would be on that topper tier of right on maybe 50-50, but maybe on that level of we're fucked.
And see, my strategy for somebody like a Frankenstein or a Dracula, any one of these on the list really that can't die, even Jason or Michael Myers or any of them, my strategy would be I would cut its fucking head off, and then I would take that head, I would put it in a steel box, lock it, and bury it under like cement or something, right? I put it like in a box, a steel like safe type box, and bury it down in the ground and pour cement all over the son of a bitch. And it's like, okay, get your head now, motherfucker. Try biting me, Dracula, without your fucking head. How you gonna do that, bitch? You might still be alive. You might be wandering around looking for your fucking head, but you ain't gonna bite my ass. I promise you that, because your head's fucking buried 6 feet underground in a box. So go fuck yourself. That would be my strategy for any of these things that can't die. The problem is actually getting it done. If you're talking a vampire, in all of the vampire movies, in the old Dracula movies, he didn't really go super fast. But the understanding is that he can, right? If you're talking like Interview with a Vampire, those kind of movies, they can move super quick when they want to. So the problem would be actually getting to be able to cut its head off. That's the same problem you'd have with actually staking the son of a bitch. How are you going to do it if he's, shooting like the Flash? You ain't going to catch that fucker. That's the only issue. So you just have to try to survive until daylight, and get them in the daytime. But that would be my strategy for anything that can't die. Is if you're ever facing anything that can't die, pro tip, cut its fucking head off and bury the head in a box in the ground. Let it try to find its own head. I guarantee you'll have time to get away. It's going to take it quite a while to locate the head, dig the head back up, get it out of the fucking steel safe that you put it in, somehow reattach it to itself, and then come back after you. So you're definitely going to have time to get to another state or something and start a new life where it's going to have to try to find you again. But that would be my strategy. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know down in the comments section when this hits YouTube what you guys think. Give us some of your top movie monsters or whatever, or horror icons, and how you think you'd do against them. I thought this was a real fun show. Me and my wife had the idea to do it earlier. We were watching horror movies because it's October. We do that every October. We go through and watch a lot of our favorite horror movies together. It's kind of our thing. And I got the idea for this show. It's like, I wonder how we would survive against these guys, man. Could we last? Me and old boy separately, could we pull that shit off? And I thought that'd be a really fun show to do. It's something we've never done before, but I thought it was enjoyable. I really had fun with it. Like I said, let me know what you think. I'm going to throw it back over to old boy and let him give his final shout outs, and then we will wrap up. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, it was a really fun show. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Like you said, leave comments in the boxes. It's almost Halloween, so like the next couple weeks, and the funny thing is the the last in Halloween. The last is going to be on Halloween, so we get to do an actual Halloween show. That's going to be next week. Like you said, Debbie Lamb was in Point Break, RoboCop, and a whole bunch of other movies. Very nice lady, beautiful person. She's in Rome right now. She was writing me. This is how crazy she was writing me. She's gonna make a picture. She was taking pictures all day to come on our show to advertise. She's picking them, but they're in Rome right now, and she still took the time to talk to me while she was with her husband. And I told her, you didn't have to write me back. You'd have waited. You got back tomorrow in the next couple of days. And she's like, no. And she's a very genuine person, very beautiful person. I like her. She's always been very sweet. And you guys will like that show. That being said, check us out on Parax Radio every Sunday nights at 12 a.m. Eastern, 9 Pacific. The Best of Show, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. You want merchandise? James will tell you go. Shirts, hats, all kinds of cool stuff. If you want to subscribe to YouTube, James Hershey's YouTube page. Subscribe to us on Staring the Abyss on Spotify. I'm starting to say that one because I forget where that, and you can watch We're Screwed. Check out yesterday's show, 2 days ago show with Fate the Dragon. We have other things to talk about that in the next, because there's something big coming out of that conversation we had with him. Check that show out. It's very interesting. He's a crazy guy. I like him. Good guy, but he's a fucking crazy dude. But we enjoyed talking to him. That being said, a couple more weeks. Halloween's coming, guys. I hope you get your candy bags, your mask, and you go out and you go trick-or-treating. Because I like trick-or-treating. Have a good day. Have a good night, Misfits.
I like the candy. My fat ass loves the candy. Formerly fat ass. I'm not fat anymore, unfortunately. I had to get my shit together because I was dying. But, I'm in shape now, but I still love the candy. I just can't eat it, I thought I had this great idea. I thought, what if I don't swallow? Like, what if I just take the candy and I put it in my mouth and I chew it up and I just spit it out, right? Then I can taste it, and I love that, and I don't swallow it, so all that bad shit isn't in me, right? That was my idea, but apparently that's an eating disorder. You can't do that shit, so don't do that. Eating disorders are fucked, man. A lot of these people, like, what the hell's that chick's name? Eugenia Cooley, some shit like that on YouTube. She's that gothic chick, real skinny. She's anorexic as hell. A lot of people talk shit about her and hate on her and everything. I've seen some of her stuff because a lot of people are talking about it. I thought, who the fuck is this? And I don't know. I just feel sad for her. You know what I mean? I don't have anything bad to say about the girl. I feel bad for her because she's like scary thin, like concentration camp thin, and she got this. Her head looks gigantic because her body is so small. It's just so skinny, and that shit is sad. So don't do that. Don't fuck around with eating disorders. They're nothing to play with. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, it was fun for me. Let us know down in the comments section what you think, and if you'd like to see more weird shit like this. We're up to do all kinds of stuff because, dude, we've been doing staring for like, 8 years now? Something like it's been a long fucking time. And after a while, you kind of already talk about everything. There's not a whole lot of stuff to cover that we haven't covered at some point during that 8 years, done a show on. So it's a challenge sometimes to continually come up with ideas every week to do new original shows. And to my knowledge, something like what we did tonight has never been done on the radio. It might have been done in videos by somebody or whatever. I don't know, but I don't think it's ever been done actually on the radio. That's what this is a radio show. I mean, you might be watching it on YouTube, or you might be listening to it on Spotify or whatever, but the actual show we're doing right now is a radio show that gets played on Parax Radio and like 101, something like that countries. So it's all over the fucking place. But that's what this is a radio show. And I don't think anybody's ever done this on a radio show. I might be wrong. I've done zero research on it, so I have no idea, but I've never heard it. And I thought that would be an interesting, fun thing to do. And we're going to do a lot of weird, interesting, fun shit on this show going forward. We're still going to have a lot of interesting, good shows, where you learn a lot from them. But also, we're going to have some shows where we just do fun shit, like this, because this was a good time, and I enjoyed it. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll get on and we'll do that other show I was talking about where we rate all of the horror icons as far as who is the king of the mountain, who's the baddest of the bad. You know what I mean? That would be a fun show to do too. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, let me know in the comment section what you think. As always, up to you to make up your own mind. I'd like to hear some of yours. I'd like to hear how you think you do against some of these people, because that was interesting to me. We'll catch you on the next one. Till I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.